Hello dear students, welcome to video tutorials for class 12th business studies. We are doing chapter number 3 and this is the last video of this chapter. Let us see the topics which we have already done. So in our video 1 and video 2 we have already covered meaning of business environment, then features of business environment, then we have done these 5 dimensions: economic, social, technological, political and legal. And we have also covered importance of business environment, and we have also covered major reform covered under new industrial policy, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization. So in today's video we are going to cover the topic demonetization, concept and features, then what is impact of government policy changes on business, and the last topic is managerial response to change in business environment. So demonetization topic we are going to do in end. We'll first start with what is impact of government policy changes on business. When we are talking of impact, we are basically talking of LPG economic reform, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization, and how it has affected business and industry. So there are total 7 points. First is increasing competition, more demanding customers, rapidly changing technological environment, necessity for change, need for developing human resources, market orientation, and loss of budgetary support to public sector. So these are the 7 points of how the government policy which came in 1991 related to liberalization, privatization, globalization, how it affected the business and industry. So first point is increasing competition. So competition for Indian firm have increased, especially in industries like telecommunication, like in Delhi we have MTNL and otherwise we have a public sector unit BSNL, but now a lot of private players are there. So public sector organization faced a stiff competition from these private players. Then also in airline business, Air India is the airline which comes under public sector. They have to face competition from other airlines such as Vistara, Indigo, SpiceJet, Air Asia, Go Air. Then even banking business and insurance business, these were the businesses which were earlier only done by public sector, but now there are a lot of private players which are there. So competition for Indian firms have increased. Also due to globalization, Indian firms face competition from MNCs also, which were allowed to do business in India. Second is more demanding customers. So customers today have become more demanding because they are well informed, and due to increase in competition, now customers have wider choice and they have a choice to purchase a better quality of goods. So if your business is not providing with the quality which they want, they know that there are a lot of other businesses also where they can go. So because of competition, now customers have become more demanding. They are looking for better quality product and services. Third is rapidly changing technological environment. So post 1991, that is after our new industrial policy, a lot of new technologies and improvement in machines and processes was seen, and this rapidly changing technological environment was creating a tough challenge for basically small firms who were not able to update their technology so often. And with the increase in competition, every firm was trying to adopt new and better technologies so that they can survive and grow in the market. So the technological environment became very dynamic. It used to change very frequently, and it was a major challenge for the small firms who were not able to cope up with that. Next is necessity for change. So earlier, before 1991, firms used to have a stable policies and practice, and even if they were not changing their business, they were able to survive and grow in their business. But after 1991, the market forces become very turbulent, and now organization and business realize that they have to continuously modify and change their operation and adapt according to the changing environment, otherwise they would not be able to survive. So earlier, changing your business was an option, but post 1991, change become a necessity. If you're not changing your business, you'll not be able to survive. So earlier, change was option, now it became a necessity. Next is need for developing human resource. Indian enterprise have suffered a long due to inadequately trained personnel, and now they realize that out of all the resources which a business use, the most important resource is human being. So they realize the importance of people who are working in the organization, and with the new market condition, now businesses require people with higher competence and greater commitment. So there was a need which arises as to get a good human being, and there was a need to continuously train and develop the human resource. Next is market orientation. So earlier there was a production oriented marketing which was used, but now it is market orientation. Now what do you mean by this is, earlier businesses used to produce first and then they used to sell the product. So they never used to ask what customers want. Whatever they want they can produce, and they know that they will be able to sell it. So production was done first and then the products used to be sold. But now the concept changed. Now it is a market orientation. Now businesses realize that they need to understand what are the needs and wants of the consumers, what are their requirements, and then they used to produce the goods according to the needs of customer. So earlier it was production oriented marketing, but now there is a market orientation. There is a shift from production oriented marketing to market orientation. Now firms know that they have to study and analyze the market first and produce goods, otherwise they're not able to survive, because a lot of competition is there, and the only way where you can survive is where you have to keep your customers satisfied. Next is loss of budgetary support to public sector. So we know that every year the budget comes and the budget decides a fund which is allocated to the public sector. But post 1991, central government's budgetary support for financing the public sector declined. And now they want that public sector should realize that in order to survive and grow, they have to be efficient, they have to compete with private sector, they have to show their efficiency, and they have to generate their own resources and revenues. So earlier the budget which used to be given to public sector was more, but now that budgetary support is reduced. So we have done these 7 points of impact of government policy changes on business and industry. So we have done the first point, increasing competition, where the competition is increasing for Indian firms, whether they are there in public sector or private sector. Second, customers are now becoming more demanding. They are looking for good quality product, because now if your business is not providing that good quality product, they'll easily shift to your competitor. Third, the technological environment is rapidly changing, and it is especially a threat for small firms who cannot update their technology. Fourth is necessity for change. Now changing your business is not an option, rather it is necessity if you want to survive and grow. Fifth, businesses have realized that now they need to develop the human resources which are there in the businesses, and they spend time and money in getting the good human being and developing the human resources which they already have. Sixth is market orientation, that is asking what consumers need and want and then produce the goods. And last is loss of budgetary support to public sector, where the money which is given to public sector under budget is drastically reduced so that public sector become more competitive and they can generate their own revenues. So I hope all these points of impact of government policy changes on business and industry are clear to you. Now we are doing a point which is just related to this, that is How will manager respond to change in the business environment? Will the manager sit idle, or they'll do something to cope up with this change which has come due to a new industrial policy which is there? The first point is acquisitions and mergers. Second, diversification spree. Third, brand building. Fourth, customer focus. Fifth, sharply improve compensation levels. And sixth, use of latest technology. So these are the things which manager did to cope up with the change in the environment due to new industrial policy. We'll start with the points one by one. So first point is acquisitions and mergers. So in order to achieve the objective of either market dominance or market entry, or to expand the product range, or to obtain core competences, the Indian business enterprise, they indulge in mergers and acquisition. So now Indian firm realize that if they need to dominate the market, if they need to grow, if they need to survive and compete with MNCs, and if they want to enter and expand their product range, the only option for them is not to do business alone, rather do a merger with some other business or acquire some other business. So during this period, a lot of mergers and acquisitions were done. I want to show you this table of acquisitions and merger post liberalization, and you can see these are the years from 1990 to 2004, and this is the total number of mergers and acquisition. So in 1991, total mergers and acquisition was just 1, and if you can see this number post 1991, this number increased. So lot of Indian businesses go for mergers and acquisitions. Some of the businesses even thought of not competing with MNCs, rather merge with their business and do the business together. So I want to give you an example. The French firm Lafarge bought the cement unit owned by Tisco, and Gujarat Ambuja acquired DLF Cement. So a lot of acquisitions and merger happened post 1991 after the new industrial policy. Second is diversification spree. So managers are leading diversification, that is dealing in different products. So the companies which were earlier dealing in only one product, they diversified into other businesses. This was a strategy which was adopted by the managers in order to survive and grow in this dynamic business environment, and to cope up with the changes of business environment. They started dealing in different types of product rather than dealing in only one product. So I want to share the example of Reliance Industries Limited. If you can see, there are total 130 products in which they are dealing, and these are the 7 major sectors where they are working. That is refining and marketing, oil and gas exploration and production, textiles, media and entertainment, petrochemicals, Reliance Retail, digital services. So lot of organizations, they went on a diversification spree where they started producing and selling new type of goods in which they were earlier not dealing. Third is brand building. Companies are becoming more aggressive toward brand building. They want that customers should remember their brand name in order to distinct themselves from the other competitors. The managers were spending huge amount on brand building, advertising, launch parties. The focus is on securing a prime positions for brand through creative media mix, and they were trying all their best by spending money on advertising and media events so that they get their market distinction. Next is customer focus. Business firms have started manufacturing product in accordance to customer need. So this we have done earlier also. Earlier there was production oriented marketing, but now it is market orientation, where you have to ask what your customers wants and what are their needs, and you try to produce goods according to their needs, and you stressed on the customer satisfaction and you've realized that the only way to survive is to keep your customers satisfied, because if your customer is satisfied, they'll help you in bringing repeat sales and will also give a good feedback about your business. So with so much of competition, the only way to hold your customers and get new customers is by keeping your customers satisfied. Next is sharply improving compensation. Businesses realized that now they have to have a good people in the organization, and due to this the starting salary of engineering and management, fresh engineering and management graduates risen significantly. So earlier people used to get very less salary, but the compensation level increased post 1991, and many companies, they also introduce incentive schemes for the people who are showing better performance, because all the companies, they want to have a better performance, and in order to get better performance they need to have good people, and in order to get good people you need to give them good compensation and incentives. So the compensation level sharply improved after the new industrial policy 1991. I want to show you this news in Hindustan Times on October 6, 2018. 21-year-old Delhi student gets rupees 1.25 crore job offer from Uber, will work in San Francisco. So this was a student from DTU, a fresh graduate who did his engineering from Delhi Technological University, and he was offered a salary of you can see the package 1.25 crore. So in order to get good people in the organization, people and companies were ready to give high compensation and the salary packages. And to tell you, this student is Sarthak, and he is from DPS Vasant Kunj only. Next point is use of latest technology. As I told you, the technological environment is very dynamic, it is rapidly changing. So all the companies, they have realized that if they want to be successful, they have to get the latest technology with them, and they have to upgrade their technology so that they can get good quality product. Because if you upgrade your technology, it will not only lead to good quality product, but it will also lead to reduced cost of production and distribution. So all the companies, they realize that in order to be successful, they have to have the latest technology with them by which they are producing their goods or they are distributing their goods. So now we'll start with the last topic of this chapter, that is demonetization. You all know that demonetization happened on November 8, 2016, and two major denominator notes of 500 and 1000 were demonetized, and they were no longer accepted as a legal currency. The main aim by demonetization was done is to curb the corruption, because high denominator notes are normally used for these purpose, and also to counterfeit the use of high denomination notes for illegal activities and accumulation of black money. So black money is basically the money on which you are not showing to government, or on which you are not paying the tax, and which is not there in the records of government. So normally for accumulation of black money, illegal activities and corruption, normally high denominator notes were used. The main aim of demonetization is to curb all these activities. If you can see the tweet of Mr. Arun Jaitley, which was there on 9th November 2016, 500-1000 legal tender cancellation will end an illegitimate parallel economy and gradually advance India towards a cashless economy. So we'll start with the features of demonetization. The first feature is tax administrative measure. So those who had black money which was not declared, if they want to make that money as white money, they had to deposit that in bank, and they have to pay taxes at a penalty rate. Second feature is measure to improve the tax compliance. So basically demonetization is an indication from the side of government that now they are not going to tolerate the tax evasion, and you have to declare your income and pay your taxes honestly. So the third feature is channelizing saving. So if you remember, during those periods, people have to deposit all their high denominator 1500 notes into the bank, and whatever money is being deposited in bank, it was channelized into the financial system by giving loans. So there was increase in saving of people, where people deposited the money in the bank, and the same money can be used by bank to give as loans. Next is create a less cash or a cash light economy, and I showed you the tweet of Mr. Arun Jaitley that they wanted to have a digital India where people are not doing cash transactions, or it is a cash light economy. Rather, they are using the digital mode of payments like mobile apps, mobile banking, debit card, credit cards. So we have done the 4 features. First is tax administrative measure. Second, a measure to improve the tax compliance. Third, channelizing saving. Fourth, create a less cash or a cash light economy. Now we'll see what is the impact of demonetization. So if we talk of money or the interest rates, the interest rate decline, and this happened because bank deposit increase and the saving increase. So banks were having lot of money. So you know the rule of demand and supply. So the supply of money was more there with the bank. As a result, the interest rate on the deposits which were there on the bank decreased. Second is private wealth. So private wealth declined because a lot of high denominator notes were not returned, because I told you when they have to return that money, have to pay a penalty or a tax. To save that, those notes were not returned. So people having notes, they have no other option. They did not return that to bank, and those notes were useless for them also. So private wealth decreased. Public sector wealth, there was no effect because everything is accounted for. It's not a black money. For every government fund, there is some record which is there with the government already. Digitization, as you can see, the digitization increased after demonetization. Lot of mobile apps, payment apps like Paytm, RuPay, APS, Bheem, these were increasingly used by the people instead of cash transactions. Next is real estate or the property. So the prices of real estate declined because real estate property prices include a major part where a black money is involved. Last is tax collection. Due to this demonetization, the tax collection increased because now people have no other option but to disclose the money which they have, and in case it is a black money, they paid the tax at a penalty rate to convert that black money into white money. So students, we are through with this chapter. Now let us revise all the topics of this chapter one by one. So in this chapter, business environment, you have basically done 8 topics. So we are going to first start with meaning, and I told you it is a combination of individual, institutions and other forces. And these forces are outside the control of business, but they have an impact on its performance. And if we come to features, we have done total 7 features. Totality of external forces, specific and general forces, interrelatedness, uncertainty, dynamic, complexity and relativity. Then we talk of dimensions or elements. Under this we have done 5 dimensions. An acronym is SLEPT. S is for social, L for legal, E for economic, P for political, T for technological. Then we'll come to the importance of understanding business environment. We have done 6 points. And these points are: it enables the firm to identify opportunities and getting the first mover advantage. It helps the firm to identify threat and early warning signal. It helps in tapping useful resources. It helps in coping up with rapid changes. It helps in planning and policy formation. It helps in improving performance. The next topic is New Industrial Policy 1991. And under this, we have done 3 economic reforms, which are known by words LPG. L is for liberalization, P for privatization, G for globalization. Now let us see the next topic. What is the impact of government policy changes on business and industry? So there are total 7 points. The first point is increasing competition, more demanding customers, rapidly changing technological environment, need for developing human resources, necessity for change, market orientation, and loss of budgetary support to public sector. The next main topic is managerial response to change in business environment. So how does manager respond to all these changes? So there are total 6 points. The first point is acquisition and mergers, diversification spree, brand building, consumer focus, sharply improved compensation level, use of latest technology. Now please see the last topic, that is demonetization. Under that 3 topics are there: concept, then aim, and then we have done features, and there are total 4 features. Tax administrative measure to improve tax compliance, channelizing, saving, and creating a less cash or cash light economy. So I hope all the topics and the subtopics of this chapter are clear to you. Dear students, do visit our business studies blog also. Here you can go on the chapter tab, and if you can scroll down on this page, you will find a video. Please watch this video, very good video. Then you can see here there is a mind map, and if you click here, you'll see a mind map made by one of our student. So you can make mind map like this, where you're keeping your paper horizontally and writing all the headings and the subheadings which are there in this chapter. Also, if you can see on this page, you will see a sign like this. You can click here and you can get a worksheet based on this chapter. You can download this worksheet and try, and this will help you in revising your entire chapter. Also on the same page, you can go down the page, you'll find try the quiz based on this chapter. So you have to click here, and here you will find a quiz. So this is business environment quiz part 1, and I have part 2 also and part 3 also. Do try them. You can start quiz like this by clicking here. Then you can start with account or without account, and you'll get timer like this. Here you will get MCQ type questions where you have to click on the answer, and if your answer is correct, it will show green, but if you are giving an incorrect answer, it will show it red, and it will also show you the correct answer. The address of our blog is www.bstclass12.blogspot.com. So I hope you will try the worksheet, make mind map, and try the quiz which is there on the blog. So I wish you all a happy learning. Bye.